Hi there, I'm Miriam and welcome to Miriam's Manor. So today I have a gardening video for you guys. I am going to be preparing for my spring garden today. Now I live in Arizona, which is zone 9B. So we can typically start our growing season a little bit sooner than other climates. Our last frost date is typically around mid-February. So for those of you who want to skip this step of growing and starting your seeds indoors, you can sow directly in your garden beds outside in mid-February. But I want to give my plants a little bit of a head start because I do want a longer growing season. So I'm going to seed today, the middle of January, and transplant come the middle of February so that my plants have a full month of growth before I transplant them out back. So I have a few seeds here that I'm going to be planted in my garden. Now, there's a lot more that you can actually start in February in Arizona or zone 9B, but I only grow what me and my family eat a lot of. So for a full list of what you can grow in zone 9B, I will put that in the description box. But I've got some spinach and salad bowl lettuce, and I'm trying my lettuces again because I had a caterpillar problem this fall and they completely devoured all of my lettuces. So I believe I have fixed my caterpillar problem. So I'm going to try my salads again. I also have some pole beans that I am going to seed, as well as cucumber. Now, I did cut back my cucumber plants to winterize them 2 weeks ago, and I believe that they will come back this spring once the weather warms up a bit. But just in case they don't, I'm gonna plant some more so that I'll have some to harvest this spring. And I have some bell pepper, cherry tomatoes, and okra. So this is what I am going to seed for today. And I'm going to do this indoors because it's kind of cold outside today. So I'm going to go grab some soil from my garden. And while I go grab the soil, I'll give you guys a quick tour and show you how everything is doing so far. So this is my very last sweet potato plant, and the leaves are finally starting to die back on it. So there are still some green leaves, so I'm going to leave it in the ground for a few more weeks until I'm ready to sow outside for my spring garden. So here was the lettuce that I was telling you guys about that the caterpillars devoured this fall and winter. Now, I have since fixed my caterpillar problem, so you can start to see some of the leaves actually growing back on these heads. So I'm going to leave them in the ground and just see if they actually come back. If they don't, I am seeding more inside today, so I will have stuff to transplant this spring. So here are my 3 cucumber plants that I cut back this winter. The last time I cut my plants back like this, they came back beautifully once the warmer weather hit. But just in case they don't, I am going to seed some backup cucumber plants today so that I will be able to have cucumbers through the spring and summer. So here are my carrot plants. I have about 12 carrots growing in this little section right here, and they are coming along. They're finally starting to get a little bit of width on them. I will move some of the soil back so that you guys can see how they are coming along. They're about 1/4 of an inch in diameter, and you're supposed to wait until the carrots are about 1 inch in diameter before you pull them up. So I'm going to leave these through as long as they need. I'm not going to pull them up even when I get ready to sow my seeds in the spring. I'm just going to let these grow to full size and then pull them up once they're ready. So here is my kale, and it is still doing beautiful, and I'm so thankful because it is definitely keeping up with the demand that my family and I use. We pick off of this almost daily for salads, and new buds just sprout up every single day on it. And it's gotten really tall. You can see from this angle how tall the kale is now at this point. And my beloved tomato plant, what can I say? Big Daddy has gotten huge, and fruit is definitely producing on this thing every single day. None of them have turned red yet at this point, but the tomatoes are almost full size on the majority of this plant, and so I can't wait for them to start blushing and turning red so that I can finally harvest my first tomato from Big Daddy. And of course, here's Old Faithful still producing cherry-sized tomatoes on this plant. And so in between my tomato plants and the kale, I actually have some cilantro growing that I can't believe is actually growing because it's blocked so much from the sun, but they're still growing, so I come and pick off of it as I need it. This garden bed has struggled quite a bit this winter because it doesn't see a lot of sunlight because of its location. And my snap peas are not doing too hot. The cold weather has also really affected my bell pepper plant, which bell pepper plants don't do very well in the winter anyway. I still do have this bell pepper growing on it, which is a good sign of life, and our weather should warm up soon, and I'm hoping it can hang in there until a few more weeks when the sun will really start to shine again. So this is the front of that same garden bed, and same situation. My basil and herbs have really suffered from a lack of sun this winter. This plant is not at all even close to how thick it was in the warmer weather, and my purple basil right in front of it has completely died back. I will be pulling this up out of the ground. So my onions have been really slow growers. They are finally though starting to thicken up significantly than what they just were 2 weeks ago, as well as getting a lot longer. But I should have been able to harvest them by now. They've been in the ground 3.5 months and they still don't look anywhere near being ready. So this is definitely a lesson learned for me of what I should be planting in this particular garden bed next fall. First, before I get started, I'm just going to put a little bit of this fertilizer in my soil here. Okay, so I'm going to put my seeds in these little containers here. I did find these at Amazon. And I want to say they were only like $6 or $7, if I can remember right. I got these last year, and there was a ton that came in the pack. All right, so I'm going to do this whole thing spinach. And I'm just going to lay the pack once I have this done. I'm gonna lay this on top of this until I get my markers so I'll know which one I actually seeded. Now that all the seeds are sown, I'm gonna give this a little bit of water. I will then put this next to my sunny window in my front room and underneath a growing light. Now this will be the first time that I've ever used a growing light, so I will let you guys know how this works out for me. I usually just put it in a sunny window whenever I'm sewing inside, but I thought I'd make the investment and go ahead and try a grow lamp and see if I can get my plants a little bit bigger than normal so that they're bigger when I'm ready to transplant them outside. So thank you guys so much for joining me for my spring garden preparation. If you have any questions for me, definitely leave me a line in the comment section and I will get back with you. Also, please like, subscribe, and share the video. And don't forget to click on that notification bell. So until I see you again, may your life and your garden produce good fruit. Bye.